Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I know we are all waiting for the home, away or third shirt to be unveiled by Juventus Football Club. They are taking time, we know the reasons why, but in the meanwhile, this morning available on their store but also everywhere. Spamming on social media the new training kit for Preseason 24-25, and it's every time the same thing. Beppe, what do you think about it? You like it, yes or no? Well, I tell you, if you know me a bit, if you know the channel a bit, you know that I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball. I am a big fan of Sangoku or Kakarot, depending the country that you are living. So that orange combined with blue, I'm a big, huge fan. Of course, we're not speaking about match training kits or match kits, but we are speaking about training kits, and I love them. I really love them. Hopefully, Juventus will be able to transform themselves in Super Saiyan. That would be fantastic. But we are not here to speak about training kits. We are not here to speak about anime or Dragon Ball. We are here to speak about Juventus Football Club, and in today's video we'll go to our transfer market. Why are things taking a bit of time? I'm not sure if you will appreciate some of my takes in today's video, so before you hate me, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to today's video. Continue to share the channel with your families and friends that needs to discover the channel, because there are still so many Juventini that needs to discover this fantastic channel, or at least, being a bit humble, a nice channel. Let's say it like that. Are you ready? We start with Rabiot. That's the first name I want to mention on today's video. Why? Because Giuntoli, Thiago Motta, Juventus, they have a fantastic 4-2-3-1 in mind with a lot of new players. But in front of the defense, they have a dream to play Douglas Luiz next to Adrien Rabiot. 4-2. Well, these two men can be fundamental for Thiago Motta and Juventus Football Club. Well, where is Douglas Luiz? We will give you an answer. Where is Adrien Rabiot? Adrien Rabiot, of course, we know it. He is there with l'équipe nationale, with Les Bleus, and he's focusing there. He didn't give at the moment an answer to Juventus. The parts are getting closer. There is more optimism from a lot of journalists, but at the moment we see no signature for an extension. Juventus will need to go fast. Why? Because on the 30th of June, the contract of Adrien stops with Juventus, which means that if we sign again Cavallo Pazzo, Crazy Horse, from the 1st of July and not before, we have a huge problem, because the tax benefits, Decreto Crescita, will not be applicable anymore for Adrien. So we need to do it before if we want to use this tax benefit and not paying ×2 what we are paying him net. So we need to go fast. And that's why Juventus, even if they are optimist, even if they believe they can extend with a Frenchman, they're still looking around. They're saying, you know what, we want to be prepared, because if Adrien at the end he says, no, I don't want, well, we need to have already an idea of the other one. We already spoke about Kefren Thuram so many times here on the channel. Another name is Fofana, 25 years old player from Monaco. He's a beast, he's a fantastic player. Look, I would not say no if Rabiot doesn't stay to a Fofana, to a Kefren Thuram, but Fofana really, Giuntoli is observing, he's trying to start the contact with Le Club Monégasque. So pay attention for a new name that we are speaking, not that much, but still we already mentioned here on the channel, but can become a hot name in the next few weeks, depending on the other Frenchman, Adrien Rabiot. So pay attention to that. Now you tell me, Beppe, okay, Adrien Rabiot next to Douglas Luiz, but at the moment, Rabiot didn't extend. At the moment, Douglas Luiz didn't sign. Where is Dougie? Well, the answer is quite easy. Everything is done with Dougie. Not yet with McKennie. Not yet with Ealing Jr. Ealing Jr., he just asked a bit of confirmation, a bit of reassurance about his role in Aston Villa, which would be not a problem. The only thing that is missing is McKennie finding an agreement with Juventus. You will tell me, Beppe, if we sell him, what kind of agreement does he need to find? Well, apparently, American boy, Texas boy, is asking for a kind of bonus because he leaves, and he makes actually a pleasure, a benefit, a gift to Juventus, leaving 1 year before. Strange, but yeah, you know it, guys. I'm not living in USA, but in USA, apparently, when you go to the restaurant, when you go, you need to give a tip. You're obliged to give 10% of the tip to the waitress. Really strange things. Or being obliged to pay on top of that. Well, apparently, Texas boys, you also want there a tip of Juventus. Let's see. I don't believe that Juventus will refuse it, especially because we are speaking about a mega deal, huh? In terms of finance, also sporting-wise. So that should be solved, I believe, next week. And next week, also, Juventus could possibly go for Lehmann. You'll tell me, Beppe, goalkeeper. No, I'm speaking about the girlfriend of Douglas Luiz. He's also playing at Aston Villa. I told, I believe, 2 days ago, guys, Don't believe the rumors. She will never join. Why? It looks like yes. Looks like I was wrong. So sorry for that, guys. Apparently, she could possibly come to Juventus Women going for a package. Strange, huh? These kinds of packages you take and the guy and the girl. Well, anyway, it is what it is. Let me know if you are happy for Juventus Women if we are able to go with Lehmann, Alisha, I believe. Not sure. Alisha, 25 years old as well. Now, Juventus, they need to go fast. They need to accelerate. Because at the moment we are speaking, blah, 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 blah. At the moment we just announced Thiago Motta. We didn't announce any other player. At the moment it's stagnating everywhere. Also with Koopmanners. And that's why Juventus, they need to accelerate. And one of the first names that could leave Juventus and bring some cash is Matthias Solé. We know that there are a lot of interest on the Argentinian boy. I already explained to you the situation of Matthias yesterday in the video. West Ham, they want to go full power. And they are already starting to make the contacts and starting to think about a first offer for Juventus. You know that Juventus, they want between 35 and 40 million euro. Not because they don't like the guy, I repeat you, but because all that money will be an immediate profit for Juventus to reinvest in the other roles. I know we are speaking about young players. I know that we spoke about the Huijsen possibly leaving for Dortmund or Atalanta. And then I told you, pay attention because there are next-gen players that could be promoted instead of them. Like, for example, Luiz Haza. And I really believed in it. Well, pay attention because Luiz Haza is changing agent. Going towards, well, the agent of Douglas Luiz. We are speaking about Ramadani. Also, another one in his agency. And Luiz Haza, we are not sure that he will extend for 2027, 2028. And if he doesn't extend, he's not part of the project of Next Gen. Could possibly leave, where also there some Italian clubs are on him and also some German club from Bundesliga. So it's a situation that we need to monitor because we are speaking about a young, good talent. And it will be a pity to see in the same session, seeing Ealing Jr., Dean Huijsen, Matthias Solé, Luiz Haza all go, especially because I know that a lot of people tell me, Beppe, why that next jet project if we don't believe in them at a certain moment? Well, it's partially true. It's partially true because we need to let them grow to have these players in first team, like Kenan Yildiz, for example, but we can't have only a team of next gen, especially because we are not speaking about Wirtz and Musiala. We are speaking about good players. But yesterday I was watching Germany against Scotland. I see a Wirtz, I see a Musiala, both of them are 21. We are speaking about who could potentially be the Matthias Solé, the Miretti of Juventus. Guys, with all the love I have for Solé, with all the love I have for Fabio Miretti, they are not at that level at the moment. And if these players are not yet at that level, and we don't see that we have enough time to let them grow or to be ready immediately, because that's what we want. We want also a team that is able to do much better than the last season. Well, maybe cashing in now that they are at the peak value, and I'm speaking about the Huijsen, I'm speaking about Solé. Well, it could be great. Look at yesterday, Musiala. He has been actually selected as player of the match. What a fantastic goal. What a fantastic move. I personally thought that Kroos was was better, deserved the man of the match for everything that they did. But Musiala, of course, you are watching and you're smiling and you're loving what Musiala did yesterday. Then, don't forget, guys, and that's a really important rule that you don't have to forget, because it looks like we can't play with players over 24 now, because if you're over 24, you're old. You can't have a team only made of 18 years old, 20 years old, 22 years old players. Look at the German team of yesterday. It's true, you had that youth future of Germany there up front with Wirtz 21, Havertz 24, Musiala 21, and I totally agree with that. But look at the other players: Neuer, Rudiger, Kroos, Gundogan. We are not speaking about young players. So I said it yesterday in a short that I made, the experience at the service of the youth, of that intensity, of that dynamism. So I believe that Juventus should also go towards a mix of experience, strong players, a bit more older in terms of maturity, but then also having that mix of strong young players. And I'm saying strong, really strong. And that's why we heard the name of Greenwood, and I'm speaking about the Sporting side. That is a fantastic player. But now Juventus, they are still doubting. because you don't have for Greenwood only the sporting side, you have also all what is around the world of Greenwood. If you are looking at the reaction in the comment section here, it's already a fight between we need to give persons, people a second chance in life, and then you have people who are saying no because it was unacceptable. Well, these discussions, if you sign a player like Greenwood, you know that you will carry this discussion with you in the fan base, but especially much bigger in the anti-fan base of Juventus. And that's why Juventus, they said, we still want to talk with Manchester United, but you know why? Can we talk about Sancho? Can we talk about Sancho back from the 6 months loan at Dortmund? Dortmund that doesn't have the funds, the necessary funds to really sign him permanently. Can we sign for Sancho? We are really interested for Sancho. At the moment, the requests for Manchester United are quite high. They are going with 50 starting requests for Greenwood, 50, more or less the same, for the player ex-Dortmund, ex-Manchester United, at the moment, United player Sancho. That's too much for Juve. But they are thinking about a formula. A loan for the player, because we know it, Erik ten Hag has been reconfirmed with the Red Devils, which means that Sancho, ten Hag, and Juventus, generally, they see an opportunity there. Sancho at Juventus on that right side, but he's a player that can also play on the left. Versatility, can mix, can play with both feet. It's a guy that can dribble. I love. Sancho, I love. Also because Sancho means warm blood in French. Sancho, I love it. Already warm blood. I love that player, Sancho. If you tell me choose between Sancho and Greenwood, I go for Sancho, especially if I know the background story of both. So Sancho could be a possibility. Now there is another problem. It's the salary. Because he has a salary, and they are crazy in Premier League, of 8.5 million euro, which Juventus can't. So they want to negotiate with Manchester United, asking for a loan, maybe with an obligation, maybe with an option, but also asking them to pay at least 1/3 of his salary. Will it happen? At the moment, guys, we are far. We are really far. But on the other side, it was nearly a done deal in the winter mercato of 23-24. You know why it didn't happen? Because Max Allegri said, no, I don't want Sancho. Not because of the player, but because at the moment, and you all remember in the winter mercato, Juventus was fighting head-to-head with Inter, and we were playing that 3-5-2 where we found, at least for what Juventus was proving in terms of results, a consistency, a base. And going with Sancho, you needed to change, you had to change your way of playing. And Max said, and of course, if you take a Sancho, you need to let him play. You're obliged to let him play. I don't want to take that risk of changing the team for a player and risking. At the end, of course, now it's easy to say that it's a total flop. The decision has been a total flop. We probably should have changed it there in January to give a new boost for Juventus 24-25, which didn't happen. Yesterday, I saw Emre Can. Mamma mia. I was so happy for him. He entered at a certain moment of the game and then that beautiful goal. I think it's a pity that he needed to leave with Sarri's story, etc., etc. But I was happy for a guy. You never know in life. He was not even called up. He was not even there with the pre-list, of players that are training and they will go home. No, he was tranquilo on holiday. They called him up. He's there. He's making his debut in Euro 24. He's scoring a goal. Fantastic. Happy for him. Today we will see Hungary, Switzerland, Spain, Croatia, and then finishing with Italy against Albania. Pay attention, because you tell me, Beppe, who cares about the other game? No, it's important. Not only for the football lovers, but also for Juventus fans. Look, Hungary will play against Switzerland. Pay attention to some names that maybe in the future can be linked to Juve, but especially also Albania. Why? Because there are some players there, Broja from Chelsea, that will not get playing time next season. Could be an opportunity as vice Vlahovic, but also Mitaj. Do you remember that we spoke about him? That left back from Albania. Not a bad one, not a bad player. I really like him, and the friends from Albania here on the channel, they all told me Beppe is a really good player. Pay attention to him. And then, of course, if you want to see Spain with a captain Morata that could possibly go with a 3.0, pay attention to that game. But of course, for me, that am Italian, that I'm supporting the Azzurri, well, this evening there is Italy against Albania, Corriere dello Sport, difendiamola. We need to defend because we are the reigning champions of UEFA Euro 2020 that was played in 2021. And we see Federico Chiesa there with his fist in the air, behind him Di Lorenzo, maybe two players that could possibly play together at Juventus. Maybe they could play together at Napoli. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. I'm really curious. And then Voglia Azzurra. We want Azzurro. We want blue. This is the title of Gazzetta dello Sport. That for today, they were really creative because instead of going towards a pink page, they went for a total blue page. Not only the cover, but the entire paper is in blue. The sad thing, of course, is that only Chiesa could possibly play this evening representing Juventus color. Not Cambiaso, not Gatti, and not Fagioli. In or a 4-2-3-1 like presented by Gazzetta dello Sport, or a 3-4-2-1 like presented by Tuttosport, but in one or the other page you are not really speaking about. I know we are all waiting for. They are not speaking about a lot of Juve players, only Federico Chiesa, that we wish, of course, the best. So if you enjoyed this video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.